In this film I'm going to go up against Sandrin's tungsten carbide material. I've got a chip I need to work out of this blade, and I'm going to use my sharpening methods on it, starting with my most severe and seeing if I can do anything to this material, even coming close to putting an edge back on it. So this should be a very embarrassing video for me, so by all means stay tuned. So to start with, we're going to try it on a Tormek. This is a 200 stone. This Tormek's like a it's a automatic, but it's just low horsepower water-cooled sharpening system that you can use for pretty much sharpening anything if you've got the right jig. Very high quality thing. I've had it for a fair while now and I've done lots of different things with it. It's pretty good on precision, not as good as like a manual thing like a KME, but in terms of stock removal, providing you haven't got ridiculous materials, nothing's really much quicker than the Tormek in terms of what I've got that still keeps a semblance of guidability or measurability to your angles. So let's see how this does. Just to give you an example of how this works, so this is a shit steel, this is Z Hunter steel, but this will remove quite drastically alter shapes of steels very, very quickly, and so if you don't use a Tormek with much care, you can really ruin knives quite quickly. But yeah, this is definitely a good way of reprofiling a standard steel. But we're going to see, I'm going to put it in the guiding jaws, and I'm going to see if it can do anything to these scratches along the edge of this Sandrin here. Try and get that fairly straight on there. So what you basically do is you just glide this back and forward along the stone, and it should sharpen away the damage. Should. Absolutely no difference at all after way longer than you would normally put this on, or any knife on the Tormek for. Absolutely ridiculous. Still just slices paper. Your edge would be, any knife edge would be ruined by that just then, because I'm just trying to clean up a bevel. There would be a massively uneven burr for a start. This hasn't even started to form a burr. Absolutely ridiculous. So I'm gonna try something. This is dumb. I'm gonna try something dumb. The knife's already like not working. You know, it's already got a thing in it. Let's just see something. Right. So yeah, it basically carves a channel in your Tormek even when you push the tip right up against it with very minimal tip loss at all. Like it's never really had much of a tip, and that would have, I was pressing right here on this part here, trying to just flatten it off, and all I've got instead is this line. This line along here. So this is not the material to sharpen a tungsten carbide knife with. Standard, you know, whetstone type materials. This is a work sharp knife and tool sharpener. It's a belt powered, like a mini belt, so to hell with cooling. This is just what you can do crazy stock removal on. I use this green belt to sharpen my lawnmower blades. So we're going to see how it compares against the TCK. So what you basically do is you hold this trigger down and you pull the knife through this guide, leaning it against the side of the guide, and that puts a 20-degree edge on each side on your knife again. So let's see if this can even just get, remember, just trying to get this chip out. So Just a bit of chip removal is what we're after. Oh dear. Okay, so the chip is still unchanged. Let's get the old Z Hunter out again, and I'll just show you what this thing does to a normal knife, or you know, a knife. So we'll hit those serrations, shall we? Basically going to round them off if I keep going. So it is now akin to a nice hearty bread knife in that little area. And again, did not even start to approach that chip. I would say I can still see like the tooling lines from how it came from the factory in that edge. Ridiculous. I'm going to just focus just on that part and see what happens. Absolute mad lad. And you know what it's done? It's smoothed out my belt instead. So I guess this one. Right. This is the KME angled sharpening system with the Sandrin TCK rigged up in it. And this is the beast. It's a 50 grit diamond hone, what you use to completely reprofile super steels like S110V and even Rex 121. Rex 121 would still put up a little bit of a fight against this, but really this is about as rough as it gets. So let's see if we can't work out that little chip with this maybe. I'm going to set it extra steep. I'm working just on that edge. I just want to back that edge up. That's all I want to do. I don't even want to sharpen it yet. I just want to get that chip out. There is some promising powder. Still some more promising powders. Just gonna, this seems a bit weird, but I'm still just gonna keep it a bit wet because tungsten powders doesn't feel like something, and not that steel is either, but I don't feel like I really want that much tungsten powder up it. I can't quite overstate how much this would have absolutely redesigned a knife by now, any other knife. But we are gradually actually creeping towards that notch. So this is actually working. It's just taking a shitload of time. It's weird because there's still nothing like a burr that's developing or anything like that, and that's going to be a whole different level of actually getting it sharp is going to be another thing entirely. We almost have it, people. We almost have it. Okay, so anyone with a KME would know that hitting something with the beast for that long, that was probably a good 15 minutes of beasting without really doing much to a knife, is a fairly extreme thing. The weird thing is, so what have we got? So it's become like usually a beast edge wouldn't cut at all because it's just either it's knocking the burr back and forward or it's just so rough. So it's like, whilst it's not a crisp edge like it was, it's actually a pretty okay edge. Like it's a working edge just off the 50 grit beast stone. So it gives me hope that you can sharpen this stuff in your own home if you have, you know, let's just say 50 grit diamond stone can, well, that certainly eventually got, you know, receded into that notch that I needed to take out. It's got a little bit of, I need to kind of balance out the top end as well again, but that's going to be another video because I'm knackered. But yeah, this is some crazy stuff. That is definitely the most difficult thing I've had to sharpen or even interact with in that level, because even Rex 121, that's maybe a third of the time just to get past that first step, and then it's quite simple. That was something completely different, so very interesting stuff, the TC. Stay tuned for more sharpening adventures as I try to get a nice mirrored or hair popping edge back on it, because right now it's not a hair popping edge anymore. Alrighty, adventures in sharpening, Sandrin's tungsten carbide. See you in the next video, dudes.